this exciting? In a little while, we'll land in Cuba and you'll meet Ricky's family.
Well, to tell you the truth, Ethel, I'm scared.
Scared?
Well, weren't you when you met Fred's family for the first time?
After marrying Fred, nothing could scare me.
I Love Lucy has long been celebrated as a cornerstone of American television, beloved for its humor, heartwarming characters, and groundbreaking moments. Among its many memorable episodes, one stands out not just for its content, but for the controversy it ignited, an episode that was banned from airing for over a decade. This particular installment delved into the complexities of Cuban-American relations during a turbulent period, pushing the boundaries of what was deemed acceptable on TV in the 50s. Join us as we journey through the hidden chapters of this iconic series, shedding light on why this I Love Lucy episode was banned for over a decade. A golden era's hidden gem. I Love Lucy premiered in 1951, swiftly becoming a beloved fixture in American households. Lucille Ball's portrayal of Lucy Ricardo, alongside Desi Arnaz's charismatic Ricky, resonated with audiences for its relatable humor and innovative storytelling. The show broke new ground by featuring an interracial marriage, a bold move in an era when such representations were rare and often met with resistance. Ball and Arnaz's real-life marriage infused the show with authenticity, making it a pioneering force in television history. The series was one of the first to use a multicam setup in front of a live studio audience, setting the standard for sitcoms that followed. This technical innovation captured genuine reactions and enhanced the comedic timing that I Love Lucy became famous for.
Well, I'm not worried about his mother. It's all those other relatives, his aunts, his uncles, his nieces, his cousins, his great-uncles, his great-aunts.
Oh, now, honey, a big family's nice.
You don't know how big his family is. Let's see, there's Uncle Pedro, and Aunt Rosa, and Uncle Rafael, and Aunt Sylvia, and Aunt
Maria Pepa.
Uncle
Jorge.
That's Uncle George. Nandine, Manuel, and Berta.
Guillermito Melendez.
Who?
That's another uncle, Guillermo Melendez.
That's another one.
The Ricardos' Cuban Connection. The episode in question, The Ricardos Visit Cuba, aired during a time when Cuba was undergoing significant political upheaval. By the early 50s, the Batista regime was consolidating power, and guerrilla warfare was beginning to take root, laying the groundwork for the Cuban Revolution that eventually brought Fidel Castro to prominence in 1959. This geopolitical backdrop was critical, as the United States was deeply entrenched in the Cold War, with heightened sensitivities regarding communist influences in the Western Hemisphere. I Love Lucy decided to explore Ricky Ricardo's Cuban heritage by having him return to his homeland to meet his extended family. The episode featured a large ensemble of Ricky's relatives, showcasing Cuban culture and family dynamics. Lucille Ball's character, Lucy, was eager to impress Ricky's uncle Alberto, portrayed by Jorge Trevino. Her well-meaning antics led to a series of comedic mishaps, including ruining Uncle Alberto's hat and expensive cigars, and inadvertently offending him by calling him a big fat pig in Spanish. Despite the chaos, the episode concluded on a heartwarming note as Uncle Alberto accepted Lucy after witnessing little Ricky's performance of Babalu.
Honey?
Yes, there.
Honey, did we have to have this family reunion our first night in Havana? Couldn't you have made it some other night?
Well, honey, you know that we're only going to be in Havana 2 nights. And tomorrow night they've asked me to appear at the Casino Parisien here at the Nacional. So what other night is there?
Well, I was thinking about some night next year, maybe.
Crossing the red line. Controversy unfolds. While The Ricardos Visit Cuba was intended to be a humorous exploration of cultural differences and family dynamics, it inadvertently touched on sensitive political themes. The portrayal of Cuba during a time of political instability was a red line for many network executives and advertisers who were wary of the potential backlash. The United States government was particularly vigilant about media representations that could influence public perception of foreign nations, especially those with strained relations like Cuba. The episode's depiction of an interracial family added another layer of complexity, as interracial marriages were still a taboo subject for many Americans in the 1950s. Despite I Love Lucy's groundbreaking representation, the Ricardos Visit Cuba episode was seen as pushing the envelope too far, blending humor with the delicate political climate in a way that some found inappropriate. Advertisers, who played a significant role in funding television programming, expressed concerns about the episode's content. They feared associating their brands with a storyline set in a politically unstable Cuba could alienate their conservative audience base and negatively impact their sales. The fear was not unfounded, as the 1950s were a time of heightened anti-communist sentiment in the U.S. Sponsors were cautious about any content that could be perceived as politically charged or culturally insensitive, preferring content that was purely entertaining without any controversial undertones.
Una muchacha muy bonita.
How's that?
I was saying you're a very pretty girl.
Oh.
And where did you get that beautiful red hair?
Oh, I get it every 2 weeks. Oh.
Production struggle. The banning of the Ricardos Visit Cuba was a significant setback for the show's creative team, particularly producer Jess Oppenheimer, who was a strong advocate for pushing the boundaries of television storytelling. Oppenheimer believed that I Love Lucy had the potential to address real-world issues while maintaining its comedic essence. However, the network's apprehensions about political sensitivities and advertiser concerns ultimately overruled the creative ambitions of the team. The decision highlighted the immense power that advertisers wielded in shaping television content during the 1950s, a dynamic that continues to influence the media landscape today. Behind the scenes, the production team grappled with the repercussions of the banishment. The episode's absence left fans curious and frustrated, as the Ricardos Visit Cuba was an integral part of Ricky Ricardo's backstory and the show's overall narrative. The disappearance of the episode from syndication created a sense of mystery and intrigue, with television historians and enthusiasts speculating about the reasons behind its suppression. Despite the setback, the creators of I Love Lucy continued to innovate, but the experience underscored the challenges of balancing creative expression with external pressures from networks and advertisers. The Resurgence and Its Impact. Decades later, as geopolitical tensions eased and the historical context of the episode became clearer, the Ricardos Visit Cuba resurfaced, much to the delight of longtime fans and television historians. The episode's revival was met with a mix of nostalgia and appreciation for its daring narrative. Audiences began to view the episode through a more nuanced lens, recognizing it not just as a comedic installment, but as a snapshot of a pivotal moment in US-Cuban relations. The episode's resurrection allowed new generations to appreciate its historical significance and the courage it took to produce such content during a contentious era. The legacy of the Ricardos Visit Cuba extended beyond its initial controversy. It paved the way for more inclusive and diverse narratives in mainstream media, challenging the industry to rethink its approach to cultural representation. The episode became a case study in media censorship, illustrating the delicate balance between creative expression and political sensitivity. Cultural representation and beyond. The controversy also shed light on the broader issues of cultural representation in media. While I Love Lucy was ahead of its time in portraying an interracial couple, the episode highlighted the challenges of accurately and respectfully representing Cuban culture on American television. Uncle Alberto's character, though intended to be a source of comedic conflict, was criticized by some for perpetuating negative stereotypes about Cuban men and culture. This delicate balance between humor and cultural sensitivity was a tightrope that the show's creators had to navigate carefully. The episode's portrayal of a large Cuban family also provided a window into the complexities of immigrant life and the challenges of maintaining cultural identity in a new country. Censorship and creative freedom. The banned episode illustrates the tension between creative expression and external pressures from networks and advertisers. Its suppression underscores the challenges content creators face in balancing artistic freedom with commercial demands. The episode's eventual resurgence demonstrates the enduring power of storytelling, as its themes remained influential despite the ban. The controversy also raises questions about the motives behind censorship, whether political or cultural, prompting a re-evaluation of how media content is assessed within its historical context. Now it's time to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the censorship of classic TV episodes like this one? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.